Where did the Igbo people originally come from? This question has fascinated scholars, historians, and the Igbo themselves for centuries. Over the past 70 years, many researchers, especially African scholars, have pushed back against the misconception that the Igbo lack an interest in their history, a true archaeology, linguistics, and oral tradition. New light has been shed on Igbo history, but just like the origin of the word Igbo, the true descent of Igbo people is still debated, as none of the origin theories put forward has been fully proven. In this documentary, we will look at three main theories on the Igbo people's origin: the internal migration theory, the Far East origin or external migration theory, and lastly, the autochthonous and always been here hypothesis. At the end of the video, we will speculate on the most credible of these theories. You can let me know which theory you find most convincing in the comment section. Please take a moment to like this video, as your support means everything to us. Thank you. The Igbo people are one of the three major ethnic groups in Nigeria, with their homeland located in the southeastern part of Nigeria. They inhabit an area divided by the river Niger into two unequal sections. The mainland and the riverine Igbo, often refers to Olu. In the pre-colonial era, the Igbo people lived in decentralized communities, often organized into village groups or clans. There was no sense of a pan-Igbo consciousness until the advent of colonialism. Actually, the word Igbo, according to some, may have originally meant community or ancient people. Because of this decentralized nature, determining the origin source of the Igbo people is a bit more complicated than usual. The internal migration theory of Igbo origins suggests that the Igbo people emerged from kingdoms within present-day Nigeria. According to this theory, early Igbo groups, mainly hunters, farmers, and metal workers, likely migrated gradually from areas around the Niger-Benue confluence into their current homelands around 4000 to 3000 BC. This theory is supported by a combination of archaeological and linguistic evidence. The archaeological site at Ugwuele in Uturu, Abia State, one of the largest ancient stone tool manufacturing sites in the world, shows continuous human occupation from 2935 BC to 15th century AD. The lowest level of this site is said to show evidence that humans inhabited the region as far back as 250,000 years ago. Meanwhile, the findings at Nsukka and Afikpo archaeological sites revealed early Iron Age settlements with dates that overlap with the upper level of Ugwuele archaeological site. Pottery works found at the site resemble contemporary Igbo pottery in form and decoration. This evidence points to indigenous development by the Igbo in the southeastern region. Linguistically, the Igbo language belongs to the Kwa subgroup of the Niger-Congo family, which likely branched out from the Niger-Benue area, and the Igbo language is supposed to have started separating from its related languages around 6000 BC. Linguists argue that the spread and diversification of Igbo dialects suggest a long period of settlement rather than recent external migration. Based on the theory of internal migration, the Igbo have been living in their homeland since at least 3rd millennium BC. The second theory, and a relatively recent one, is the external migration theory. It suggests that the Igbo people are descendants of Jews who migrated from the Far East, possibly Egypt or preferably Israel. Colonial era scholars like Leslie Amory Talbot theorize that the Nubian Wars of Amenhotep or the conquest of Egypt by Hyksos around 1870 BC pushed people south and west, some of whom ended up in present-day Nigeria. The theory gained traction partly due to what is seen as cultural similarities between Igbo, Asia, and Hebrews. Such similarities include practice of circumcision, animal sacrifice, and certain linguistic patterns in Hebrew and Igbo languages. British missionaries in the 20th century, like George Basden, even compared Igbo customs to Levitical practices in the Bible. He suggested that some elements of Igbo religion and language may have Jewish roots. The stigmatist Innocent Okorie expanded on this idea, identifying Shemfi-Igbo in Judea as original Igbo town before migration and tracing a full migration path from Judea to Igbo land with specific names, dates, and locations. Even though this theory has become popular in some circles, especially among Igbo Christians, it lacks strong archaeological or linguistic support and is viewed with caution by many historians today. One can also say it resembles the typical colonial viewpoint that anything good in the black race must have come from outside. The third theory, the Autochthonous hypothesis, holds that Igbo people are indigenous to southern Nigeria and never migrated from anywhere else. Professor Elizabeth Isichei, in her book, A History of the Igbo People, captures it thus: "We did not migrate from anywhere, write it down, quote and unquote." According to some scholars, archaeological findings suggest that the Igbo have lived in their present homeland from the dawn of human history. Researchers like the archaeologists Adiele Afikpo suggest this view, referencing the dates of several archaeological findings, especially the prehistory sites at Ugwuele, that indicate that the Igbo have lived in the region for more than 6,000 years. And as noted by Professor Elizabeth Isichei, the people of the areas regarded as the Igbo homeland like Nsukka, Owerri, Okigwe, Olo, and Oka have no known migration myths that trace their origin to any foreign land. This theory agrees with what some people believe as meaning of the name Igbo, Ndibo, to mean ancients. If we consider the antiquity of the archaeological evidence across Igbo land and Igbo territory, we have come to the conclusion that Igbo land has been occupied far more longer than the migration theories suggest. The excavations at the stone tool sites located at Ugwuele reveal three cultural layers on top of each other, with radiocarbon dating placing the earliest layer circa at 2935 BC, and the oldest layer is tentatively suggested to be as old as 250,000 years old. This means the site is definitely much older than 5,000 years old, older than the Amenhotep wars that triggered some migration, and even older than Jacob, the father of the tribes of Israel in the Bible. The Stone Age to Iron Age progression seen in the archaeological records from Ugwuele to Afikpo, the Nsukka and the Igbo-Ukwu sites shows the Igbos specifically had been in continuous occupation of the region. All artifacts excavated in Igbo-Ukwu by Isaiah Nozie and Professor Tuxton Shaw are similar in style, size, and uniquely Igbo. To us at Enuani Cultural Forum, it seems the Igbo people sprung from their current homeland. After all, the earliest human ancestors were said to have emerged from Africa. In conclusion, findings published in the book They Lived Before Adam by Professor Catherine Acholono also cements the fact that the earliest human ancestors lived in Igbo land. Examples such as the Sanskrit from the Ikom monoliths point to the antiquity of Ndi Igbo. We will continue this analysis in our subsequent series. Let us know which theory you find most convincing. Let us know in the comment section. Please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.
In